Hey there, happy to be here with you for the City of Charlottetown's Winter Lights Mood Booster series. I'm very grateful to be able to share my practice with you this evening and lift our spirits, have a little bit of fun, be in the moment. The beautiful thing about any kind of movement practice I find is just that getting out of your head, getting into your body, connecting with your breath. It keeps you away from future thinking and dwelling on the past and really just staying present, which is a huge gift to get us through. So, as we move on our mats, as ever, it's simply an invitation to explore. We're going to be doing some super simple, easy peasy stuff, no big deal. But if anything that we come across, you're like, oh, that doesn't feel too good, then don't do it. We're just playing. We're just being in our bodies, connecting with our breath. So let's sit tall. Take a hand to your heart, one to your belly, close your eyes. And for a few moments, just notice your breath without trying to change anything. And then let's take a few intentional breaths together. So in and out through your nose, a nice deep inhalation. And let it go. Let's go again. Inhale. And exhale. Let's go one more time. Breathe in. And let it go. And then bow your head. Let go your hands. Lift your head. And open your eyes. All right. So let's come on to our mats. And first, let's just pay attention to our feet a little bit. So lean back, take your feet about mat width apart, and let's just send your legs out long, and then I'll start to move our ankles. So we'll rotate a few times in one direction, and then the other, and then let's point the toes forward, pull them back towards your face a couple of times, just like that, forward and back, forward and back. That's it. Another couple little loop-de-doops with your ankles. And then I want you to bend your knees. And let's just swoosh the knees from side to side. So just kind of sending your knees down in towards the center. A few times, just like that. All right. And then let's swing around, and I want you to try to sit on your heels. So maybe that feels okay. Maybe that's like, oh my God. Well, let's stay here for a moment. If that's too much for you, you can just sit in a comfortable position. What I want you to do for the moment is to take your attention to your shoulders. So let's reach your arms out in front of you. Send your fingertips away from you like you're pulling your arms out of the shoulder socket. So come up a little bit closer here for this part so you can really see that. Reach forward and then pull the shoulder blades into touch. So try that again. Reach forward and then draw the shoulder blades back in. Let's go again, coming forward and back. All right, and then we can lift the shoulders up towards the ears and then lower them down. Lift and lower. And then do that once more. Lift and lower. Now let's try and incorporate that into like a big circle. So we'll reach forward, lift, send the shoulders back and down. Let's go again. Reach, lift, back and down, and then go other way. So that big circle. Most like, you could almost think of it as like on a train. It's like choo choo. All right, let your arms go. Let's just do a little shoulder roll. Both ways. Let's take your attention to your neck. Tuck your chin towards your chest and lift. A few times like that in your own breath. And then you can come back to center and go side to side. That's it. And then a big circle. Go all the way around, exploring the full range of motion here in both directions. That's it. All right. So I'll come back here. Can you wrap your fingers around your knees and then round forward? So like you're sending your rib cage or the back of your rib cage towards the wall behind you. So feel the shoulder blades separate, tuck your chin in towards your chest, round forward, and then unfurl. So send the fingertips down towards the floor behind you. Lift your heart, look up. And then again, let's come forward. Wrap your hands around your knees. Tuck in, rounding forward, sending the rib cage back towards the wall behind you. And then again, unfurl. Fingertips behind you, lift your heart, look up. And then let's come back to center. Let's start to walk the hands forward. So now we can find ourselves in this tabletop or quadruped position. Hands underneath our shoulders, or somewhere's around about that vicinity, whatever works for you. If you need to readjust to take a little bit of pressure off your wrists, fine. But let's imagine now that our shoulders are tracing a circle around the outside edge of our fingertips. So we're getting that big circle a few times one way and then the other. That's it. And then let's make a big wide circle with our hips. So come down and around both ways. That's it. And then we can come back up to this tabletop position. All right, so that's thing that we did here, our little choo-choo train with our arms and our shoulders. Now that we're in this position, can we try the same type of thing with our shoulders? So try to keep your spine straight. Try not to move your back, just moving your shoulders. Can you lower down? So bring your shoulder blades into touch and then press away from the floor so that you feel the shoulder blades separate. Try that a couple of times, lowering and lifting, lower and lift. And then maybe you can find that same circle, and this is probably going to feel a little bit weird. That's okay. It might feel really uncoordinated, but just see. Could you make that big circle with your shoulders here? Woo! It's a little movement, but it's hard. Come back, and then let's just kind of shake it out. Flick the wrists. That's it. Another little reset in between. So hands back onto the mat. Let's extend your left leg straight behind you. And then reach out through your right fingertips. So opposite hand and foot reaching. So really activate the muscles of your leg, of your glutes, of your butt. So squeeze your butt muscles here. Pull the toes in towards your face. And then let's do the same thing on the other side. Extend through your right heel. Reach through the left fingertips. Try and stay steady. And then let's come back down to tabletop. I want you to walk back up now so that you're on your knees. You can tuck or untuck your toes. It doesn't matter to me. Whatever works best for you. And then I want you to take your arms either to your hips or just alongside you. And think about lifting and lengthening up out of your waist. So really getting some extension through your spine. Switch on your glutes. And then I want you to try and lean back. So you're going to feel that in your quadriceps or in your thighs. Try and stay tall and simply lean back. And then lift back up straight. Let's go again. Lean back. And come forward. And then one more time like that. Let's lean back. And forth. All right. Sit back on your heels. Just a little bit of whatever movement in between. Again, just to kind of reset. All right. Let's come back up, standing on our knees. I want to challenge you here to do a little bit of balance, but from your knees. So let's keep the left knee on the mat and slowly slide the right foot forward. So maybe I'll turn this way. You can see a little bit better. So could you now keep your arms out here to the side as a little bit of counterbalance for you? Could you lift your right toes up off the mat? So that's going to challenge your balancing in a whole new kind of a way. So maybe let's lift and let's see. Can we count to 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do the other side. All right. Same thing. Just slowly lift your toes. And then let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's bring the leg back. All right, however you get there, let's find yourself back in a tabletop position, taking your attention down to your hands. Spread the fingers as wide as they'll go. You'll notice here, we're making our way up into a downward facing dog, but you'll notice that the fingertips or the hands want to cup up from the mat. So really take the time to build a firm foundation, pressing each finger down evenly. Don't let it all just rest on the outside edge of your hand here to keep you up and steady. Let your whole hand take the load. So press each fingertip evenly. Tuck your toes, and then let's slowly lift into a down dog. So I want your pinkies to graze the edge of your mat so your hands are nice and wide. And then I want you to take your feet nice and wide. Let's go mat width. And pick up one heel at a time, just pedaling. Moving the hips, being playful. That's it. And then let's slowly walk the feet towards the hands. We're not in a rush. Find yourself in a forward fold. Your knees might be straight. Maybe they're bent a little. Maybe they're bent a lot. Doesn't really matter to me, but I really want you to just try and let your head hang. Notice how much you want to use the back of the neck here to keep the head lifted and all that tension that we hold there. Let's just let it go for a moment. Let it drop. How much can you let go? Let your belly relax. Just be soft here in this little hangout. And now I want you to activate your feet. So press the feet. Let's imagine that on the back of our legs, we've got a set of blinds. And could you use your hamstring muscles or the muscles on the back of your legs to kind of slowly, like imagine that you're pulling that string on the blinds. So activating here the back of your legs as you slowly pull up, 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 up to stand. Oh, let's just roll the shoulders now. A couple of times back and forth. That's it. Let's just stand and do a little easy peasy twist here from side to side. Let the arms just gently tap against you as you twist. And then take your hands under your hips. Let's move a big hip circle. So let the hips lead, not the torso twisting around like this. I want you to almost imagine like the top of your body and the bottom half are staying centered and the hips move. So you could imagine that the femur bones are kind of exploring all the nooks and crannies of the hip sockets here. So let's go both ways. All right. Another little bit of fun balancing. This one is called Rock the Clock. So, actually, before we do that, let's do a little bit of rocking with our knees. So let's take our feet in to touch and let's bend the knees. So we're here, just a little bit of a bend. Take your pinkies, wrap them around the backs of your knees, and then your fingertips kind of grasp onto your kneecaps. The same thing that we did with our shoulders tracing our fingertips, let's try that now with our knees tracing the outside edge of our feet. So imagine that they're going around and around. So take them in one direction and then the other. Now you can keep on like this with your feet firmly planted on the mat. You could kick it up a notch, so the option's there to get a little bit more challenging by lifting the heels. So now you're kind of on your tippy toes here, and now see what kind of circle that you can make. And when you're balancing, just pick one spot for your eyes to focus on. Try not to let them dart around. Go both ways. Just exploring, seeing what's available to you here, or maybe where the blocks are. Come back down, just lift up, pedal your feet out. Now we're ready to rock the clock. So press your right foot down, get the foot pressing evenly. Take your hands to your heart. And instead of just kind of resting them here, let's really press them. So like you're using the pressing of your hands to draw everything in toward the midline to try and keep that contained feeling. So with your right foot pressing, now you're going to bend your right knee just slightly. Hands pressed together as you bend your standing leg and reach the left toes forward. Tap them as far forward as you can. Straighten the leg. Now let's come out to the side. Tap. Back up tall. Let's reach behind you. Tap as far as you can behind you. Come back up tall. And then cross over to the other side. Nice and tall. Let's go again. Come forward. Tap the toes. Out to the side. Tap. Reach behind you. My cat goes behind me. Okay, other side. Bless. I'm sorry, Phoebe. Come up to the other side. Okay, same thing on the same side for a third time. Tap the toes forward. And then out to the side. And then behind you. Watch for your animals. And cross over to the other side. Okay, hands come down, pedal your feet out. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, darling. Okay, left foot pressing, press the palms. Again, be here, be in it, work it, press it. Ooh, let's take the other toes forward. Take them out to the side. Come behind you, and then cross over. All right, let's go again. Come forward, tap the toes, out to the side, behind you, and then cross. Let's go one more time like that. Tap the toes forward. Come out to the side. Come behind. And then cross to the other side. Back up tall. Let go of the hands. Pedal the feet. Find your breath. All right. So coming to the top of the mat. Let's reach the arms up overhead. And then let's hinge at your hips. Come forward again into another forward fold. Take your hands up to your thighs now. Extending the spine. So lengthen the spine. And then let's come down. Take the hands to the mat. And let's step back and find yourself in tabletop again. Here, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's crawl. Let's crawl towards the back of your mat. Few steps back. And then come forward. So again, this is really good for down regulating your nervous system, really just connecting to this innate movement. It can be a little bit humbling as well. Sometimes it's good to just bring it back to the basics. So again, you have the option. You can keep on like this with the knees on the mat. I'm going to offer a kick up if you want it. You can tuck your toes under, hover the knees. Now crawl with the knees at a hover. Forward and back a couple of times. And just be playful. And just notice. It's like, oh, this should feel super duper easy. Maybe it doesn't. All right. Let's come back down. Tuck the toes. Press your hands. And let's lift back into another downward facing dog. Pedal the feet. And this time let's walk the hands back. Let the head hang. Let's stay here in another forward fold. Just be playful again. Let's just sway from side to side. No big deal. Sometimes I think if you really just take the pressure off, like needing to look a certain way or do it right when you're moving, this makes it more fun. And then you can just kind of, again, get out of your head and just be in your body. So come all the way up to stand if you haven't. It's like we want to capture that feeling of when we're kids, right? Where it's like you just like moved because you needed to move and because you wanted to move and you didn't care what it looked like and you didn't care if you were doing it right. That energy is what we need to capture. All right, let's take the feet apart. Let's take them about to, actually, it doesn't matter to me how wide you take them. Take them wide-ish. Turn your toes out to about 10 and 2. And then bend your knees. And then I want you to just kind of go playful again, side to side. That's it. Again, no big deal. Just kind of swish, swish. Bend one knee and then the other. Awesome. And then let's come back to center. Bend the knees, one hand onto either knee. And then I want you to untuck your tailbone and tuck your tailbone. And see if you're even able to do that. Maybe, maybe not. Untuck and tuck. Untuck and tuck. And then once you've explored that full range, find yourself in the center. And then let's take both arms up overhead. Extend through your fingertips. Activate the muscles of your arms. Take a big breath. And let it go. And let's straighten the legs. Let go the arms. Let's just move here. Easy breezy, bend your knees, reach the arms back up. And then let the arms go, straighten the legs. Let's go again. Reach and lower. Again, let's reach and lower. All right, hands onto the hips. Let's turn the right toes in, left toes out. Bend your front knee, arms up, warrior two. Look out over your middle finger. And then let's take the hands back to the hips. Let's turn your left toes in and your right toes out. Now bend your right knee, arms up parallel to the mat. Look out over your right middle finger. And breathe. That's it. Let's come back to center. All right, let's go back to the other side again. Left toes out, right toes in. This time let's keep the legs straight. Before we go anywhere, let's come back to our pelvis here and see what we can access. So see if you're able to shift your pelvis from side to side. Maybe not. It might be, you might find that a little bit tricky, but just try and take your brain, again, get out of your head. We're trying to bring intelligence to all the other parts of our body. So take your brain down into your pelvis and see what you've got going on there. Can you move from side to side? Because I want you to tilt your pelvis to the side. So the pelvis directs the spine. So we're tilting here. Keep your spine nice and long. Keep both sides of your body long. Take the left hand, just rest it to the inside edge of your leg. If you want to take a little bend in your knee, fine. Whatever works. Keep the legs strong. Now we'll reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Turn your head, look up towards your thumb. Keep both legs really strong. Keep the thighs switched on. And breathe. The face is soft, the throat's relaxed. And come all the way back up. I'll switch the feet. Left toes in, right toes out. See what you've got here on this side now. Now that we've switched the orientation, what happens to the pelvis? We're just exploring, information gathering about our bodies. You can think of that's what a yoga practice is. Gathering information about your body, figuring out what your blind spots are, learning how to smooth them out, and just being in your body. And the very act of doing that will help keep you present, will help bring you peace, will help you deal with a pandemic. Okay, let's keep this leg strong. So again, if you need to take a little bend, fine, no big deal. But tilt the pelvis. So we're tilting this direction now so that we can direct our spine to come down. Keep the sides of the waist long. So I don't want you to just curve your spine here to come down. I want you to let the pelvis lead. Keep your spine long. Right hand to the inside edge of your leg. Left arm reaching straight up. And breathe. And then come all the way back up to center. Let's heel toe the feet in. All right. Let's play a little bit more here. Let's just bend your knees. Hands can just come to your heart. And let's step. One edge of the mat to the other. Take your weight back into your heels. So you want to feel it on the back of your legs. Step, step, step. So we're not, let's think of it sort of as like a gliding here from side to side, then stop. Plant down your right heel. Keep your hands pressing. Step your left toes out and in. You already hate this. Out and in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, paddle it out. Let's come back to this little hip circle here. So just keep your feet about hip width apart. And again, let the hips or pelvis lead the way, both directions. A nice little reset in between. Well, we'll fire up our glutes again on the other side now as you plant the left heel, hands back to your heart, step the toes out and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's bring it back to center. Big wide circles with your arms. Take them a couple of times back and forth. And then give yourself a big hug and twist from side to side. Whew. And then however you can manage to get there, let's come back down to the floor. All right. Lean back again, just how we started. Rotate the ankles. Nice big circle, both ways. Point the toes, pull the toes, back and forth, back and forth. Bend your knees, let's swish them again. Maybe just take note of how they feel this time versus the first time that we did this. And now I want you to take your feet into touch. Again, take your brain down into your pelvis. Notice your sitting bones on the floor. Feel them tilt a little bit forward. And then you can just be really soft here. Let your belly hang out. Tuck the chin towards your chest and breathe. Let's come all the way back up. Let's just bring the feet into a simple cross-legged position. Right fingertips behind you, left hand to the outside edge of your knee. Let's turn, look over your shoulder. Hi, Phoebe. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let's go the other way. Left fingertips press. Right hand to your knee, lengthen up. Use the hand behind you to help get you tall, and then turn. Don't have to crank yourself, just a little twist. Come back to center. Whatever position you want to be in to help settle your nervous system. So that might be laying on your back. Maybe it's on your belly. Maybe it's on your side. Maybe you want to stay seated. The most important thing is somewhere that you can just deflate for a few moments. So whatever that looks like. Because lots of people, it just doesn't feel super comfortable to lay directly on your back. So make accommodations. The point is, let's chill for a few moments. Just to notice. Again, this practice is just about becoming an observer. Observing your body, your breath, your thoughts. And sometimes it's really, we just need to take our attention to it and the rest will take care of itself. Just to be in the moment, in our bodies, following our breath. Doing a scan and seeing if you're holding on anywhere. Could you let go? Could you soften? Are you bracing against? Welcome the sensation of relaxation. And you can stay here for as long as you like. But if you're ready to finish up with me, then you can take your knees into your chest and give a little rock from side to side. slowly making your way up to sit. And then we will finish off with a few breaths together. So sitting comfortably, but sit tall. A hand to your heart, one to your belly. Close your eyes. Big breath in through your nose. Let it go. Let's go again. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in and out. Bow your head. Send yourself some love. And maybe we can think of somebody else who could use a little bit of extra love today. Just hold them in your mind. And then let go of your hands. Lift your head and open your eyes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. You can find me on Facebook, Yoga with Cynthia. Thank you. And I hope everybody is doing well.